Hey there Retro Games fans, this is Andy C from Piece of 8, but welcome to this week's The Bit Between, and we are into a new month, and this month, as part of our month with series, we are looking at the fabulous, most spectacular handheld console, and that is of course the Nintendo Game Boy. Now, the Nintendo Game Boy also happens to have one of my absolute favourite games, certainly one of my favourite handheld games, and that game is Super Mario Land. It was released alongside the Game Boy itself in 1989, and for many players this was their first portable Mario adventure. And rather than just shrinking Super Mario Bros. From the NES onto a tiny screen, Nintendo created something completely different and, I think, very special. Despite its small size, it became one of the Game Boy's defining games, selling over 18 million copies worldwide and helping launch one of the most successful handhelds in gaming history. Now, instead of rescuing Princess Peach, Mario heads to the mysterious kingdom of Sarasaland. I'm not sure where that gets mentioned. I was doing my research and apparently that's where it is. I never even realised that, if I'm perfectly honest with you. But it's where you will find the alien villain Tatanga, and he has kidnapped Princess Daisy. And yes, this is Daisy's very first appearance in this game. Across 4 very different worlds, Mario travels through ancient ruins, tropical islands, giant Easter Island style statues, and even the skies above, China inspired landscapes before confronting Tatanga in his spaceship. Even today is one of the strangest settings ever seen in a Mario game, and that is really saying something. Now, at first glance, it seems pretty familiar. It's run, jump, collect coins, all the usual stuff, grab mushrooms, fire flowers. But there are plenty of surprises and a few little differences. The fire flowers, for instance, don't throw bouncing fireballs. Instead, it fires small bouncing projectiles, more like sort of rapid fire shots. Enemies aren't just the usual Goombas and Koopas either. Instead, you'll encounter creatures inspired by Egyptian mythology, sea life, and completely original designs. The game is also quite fast. Mario moves noticeably quicker than he does in Super Mario Bros., making the whole experience feel a lot snappier and, I would say, a little bit more challenging as well. One of the biggest surprises comes in World 2 and 4, and instead of traditional platforming, Mario jumps into submarines and aeroplanes for full-on scrolling shoot-'em-up levels. I absolutely love the submarine level. It's so much fun. These sections owe far more to games like Gradius than Mario and were completely unique for the time. They've never really returned to the series, actually, which I think is a bit of a shame, and it makes Super Mario Land feel a little bit more distinctive and, I guess, a bit special as well today. Loved universally by critics. They praised Nintendo for how well they'd managed to bring Mario onto a handheld without losing the feel of the console game. More importantly, players just could not get enough of it. As I mentioned, 18 million copies sold. It remains one of the best-selling Game Boy games ever made. Its success helped convince millions that handheld gaming wasn't just a novelty. It could deliver proper console-quality experiences wherever you went, which was amazing. Compared to Super Mario Bros. On the NES, Super Mario Land is naturally much shorter. You can finish it in about an hour and a half, give or take. Once you know what you're doing. It is actually one of the few Mario games that I have actually completed, albeit about 30 years ago. The graphics are much simpler, the levels are much smaller, and there's a lot less variety overall to make best use of the hardware. But that kind of misses the point. This wasn't trying to replace Super Mario Bros. And it was basically built specifically for the original Game Boy's tiny monochrome screen and its very limited hardware. In many ways, Nintendo made exactly the right compromises for this game. The controls remain incredibly responsive and intuitive, the levels move at that very brisk pace that I mentioned, and it's the perfect game to pick up for a quick session. So in terms of its legacy then, it would eventually be overshadowed by Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, although I'll be honest with you, despite the fact that game looks better, I actually prefer this first one. And I think it deserves enormous credit as a result. It introduces Princess Daisy, as I mentioned before, and it proves that Mario works brilliantly on handhelds too, and it really helped define the Game Boy during that launch year. Without this game, I think it's pretty hard to imagine Nintendo's handheld legacy becoming what it is today. Obviously, Tetris has a big part in that, but I think this game is incredibly important too. So after 4 decades then, Super Mario Land remains endlessly playable. It is very short, it's quirky, it's wonderfully creative, and unlike any other Mario game before or since, if you've only ever played the NES or modern Mario titles, then this one might surprise you. So, we are now going to go and have a bit of a play of this fabulous game, and yeah, I'll play for about 10 or 15 minutes. I can get quite far. I think we'll probably just run out of time rather than me dying, but we'll see, and I'll talk through the game as we play, and as always I'll be emulating this, but let's not talk anymore. Let's dive straight into some gameplay, and I will show you Super Mario Land on the Game Boy. I'll see you in there. Okay, here we go then. We are on the 3rd level, and conveniently my intro part lasted exactly the same amount of time as it took me to finish the first 2 levels. Which would have been great, of course, had I remembered to turn the microphone and the camera on when I recorded. So, actually, I have started another game. Now, first thing is that playing on a PlayStation 4 controller on the emulator is a really bad idea. I'm having a nightmare with... exactly that. There's just a little bit of a delay, and it is causing me a real headache. Because I'm sort of responding. There we go. I'm responding a bit. Well, the character responds too late. So this is a. Hang on a minute. Why am I not? Okay, don't know. I only thought that was a tube to go down that one there. Yes, so anyway, sorry, yes. Playing this on the Game Boy, but this is Game Boy Color, actually, so that's why you're seeing some colours on here rather than it just being monochrome. The Game Boy Color would try and work out what colours from the original Game Boy would work. You see a couple of little things drop down there. Get a bit of a slightly better visual cue on those things than you do on the ordinary Game Boy. Right, that is a nuisance at the moment. Oops. Yeah, this little delay is really causing me a bit of a headache. What we're going to do, I will just play for about 10 minutes. I think it's this way. I've got to remember not to run into here because there's 3 blocks that fall down. There they go. This is sort of an Egyptian-themed area, and then it will be the end of this stage after this one, and you do not want to let that mushroom go, otherwise you are going to be in all sorts of trouble because you can't get out. Yeah, I do love this game, and I love the music in it as well. I love the theme tunes are really cool. I do not love playing it on an emulator, however. I played this game recently, actually. Well, obviously I've been playing it on the Game Boy, but I mean, you know, like, I do tend to play this quite a lot, and this is one of my go-to games on the Game Boy. Oh, I love it. That is really handy in my days. You sort of correct because you think he's going to fall off, but because the controls are ever so slightly delayed, it just catches you out. Right. Right. Now, this is the easiest boss in the world. I did wonder then for a second whether I was actually going to be able to do it, given the trickiness that I'm having. We're going to see Daisy for the first time now. Not really though. She is some kind of weird fly insect creature. I can't really tell what that is. It's like a fly, isn't it, or something, I think. Right. Come on, let's get some lives here. I keep getting the power flower thing. Yes! About time. The last few times I've played this, I've just been getting the power-up one, which is not very helpful when you've already got it. And the way things are going at the moment, I'll inevitably lose it straight away as well. There's another one up here. And you can't use your little sort of projectile thing on the fish. Ah! It's areas like that where this little bit of delay on the controller really hurts. Could have caused me a problem as well. I was a bit too close for comfort, that. There we go. And I think this is a... Yep, it is. And there is a... Not that I need it. Can I get there? Right. Let's get up here. So exactly the same as in Super Mario Brothers. There's obviously the little pipes that you can go down. And as you play this game, you start to get to know where they are, of course. As with all of these sorts of games. Get extra life for 100 coins, as always. That's never going to get those two. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. I think there's another flower up here. There is. I find myself humming this theme tune all the time. As with the early Mario Bros game, you can't go backwards. It's very interesting, actually, when you play the second one, just how much more they managed to squeeze out in terms of the look and feel of it. Right. Now, the problem with these stars on this level is that you still have to go careful because you do not want to fall down, because that still counts as death. But I would like to get... Oh, that was lucky. Woof! Yes, I thought that was one. Ah, now where is the way up? I hear you saying. There it is. If you press B to run, you can just get yourself over the little gaps. Kind of a pointless one, that. And you'll notice as well when you come out of some of the pipes, you'll notice that some things look remarkably familiar. There is a lot of repeats in the levels. Really, I assume just to make the best use of the resources. It really doesn't matter, actually. Oh, that's a good noise. That is not a good noise, on the other hand. Oh, I always lose a life here. I lose my power up here. Always. This is one of the... Even when I'm playing it on the Game Boy, I can't even blame the fact that I'm playing it on the one here. Oh, forget it. I struggle with that one anyway at the best of times. You have to run to reach the little platform thing. Right. Oh, it's really useful having the... So... There we go. And the best way... These little dudes... Oh, for goodness sakes. Ugh, they explode, as you can see. I think there is another... I think there's another opportunity to get a mushroom down here. He says. I like what they managed to achieve with so little resources in this game as well. The textures, you know, like you've got a very, very small amount of screen real estate to work with. Oh dear, this hasn't gone well at all, has it? I thought there was another power up down here. Obviously not. Must just be in the other one. Okay. Yeah, I think it's incredible what they achieve. And then, like I say, you know, some of the other games, you know, that you see on the Game Boy later on, things like Donkey Kong, and even the second version, you know, Super Mario Land 2, really start to squeeze every little inch of power out of this thing. Now, what am I going to do here? There we go. Whew. So much harder when you haven't got your power-ups. Crikey. There we go. Right. I'm pretty sure that down here there's some more power-ups. So I'm just going to... One of these. Let's just keep... was great, but I really, really need a power-up right now. Oh, hello. Disappeared then for a second. I think there's another one. I'm sure there's another one. Oh, if it's off the screen, I ain't got it now. It's all the power-ups there is in this game. There's no more than what we've seen here. That was really stupid. Oh my days. Phew, I got away with that. I got away with that. As with a lot of these Mario games as well, there's obviously a timer. So if you run out of time, you are out of there. How is this? Nope. I feel like I want to get to the submarine level. Oh, crikey. Oh, why did you do that? That was really stupid. Now you've got a bit of a problem. Oh no, we're okay. We're alright. Now, I think the way to get to this... Oh, that was foolish. I'm not going to do it now. No. Ah! Right, we'll do the next level. And there's a reason why we're going to do the next level, which you'll see in a moment. And then we will leave it there for the day. And I will tell you what I think of this game. I love this level. So this is what I was telling you earlier about this alternative... No. Sort of shoot 'em up level. And we haven't seen this repeated. Which is a shame, because I think it's great fun. Oh, I missed it. Missed the start. Lots of opportunity for coin collecting here. You get to fly an aeroplane later on as well, which is kind of fun. That's a little bit further on in the game. Oh, shouldn't have waited to get that guy. Don't get those. It is actually a little bit quite helpful being small. Oh, I thought I'd get under there. Foolish. That was a waste of a life. Unnecessarily. Well, that was good. Did that well. I should, in a minute... Oof. Oh, I didn't even see that guy. Oh, I was just trying to avoid the... You have to be careful not to shoot those dudes as well, because... Oh, my days, what is going on here? This is not going very well at all. I normally am pretty good at this, but today, not so much. Right, okay, here we go. I've got one life back anyway. Must be nearly the end of the level now. Yes, it is. Right. That was quite handy, actually. You can generally just stay down here in the bottom corner. Until... Uh-oh. I think it's this one, actually. There we go. Should be able to finish him off now before this comes back. I could have done that a little bit more eloquently, but then that is the story of the day for this game today, isn't it? Right, okay, let's get to this end of level bit now. And then we're going to go and we are going to wrap up. And I'll tell you what I think of this fabulous game on the Nintendo Game Boy. Let's just see how many lives additional we can get. I'm down to 9 lives. Now, that sounds like a lot. But by this point, I'm already about 15 lives. I think she turns into an octopus. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Disappointing. But at this point, technically speaking, we're about halfway through the game. Ah, excellent. Right, there we go. Let's go and get my final thoughts on all of this, and I'll tell you what I think of this game, and I'll also tell you what's coming up next on the channel. I'll see you in there. Super Mario Land on the Game Boy. What do I think of that? I love that game. I've got a lot of fond memories of that from the early 90s, playing on my friend's Game Boy. That's often the way with these things. And completing this game. In terms of rating, it would absolutely have to be a 4.5 out of 5. It is a fantastic game. I think it looks amazing for the Game Boy. There's very little to fault on it, but it has dated a little bit. If I was going to rate anything based on playing it on an emulator with the PlayStation 4 controller, I would give it about 1 out of 5, because it is absolutely horrendous. It is so bad. And there's a part of the game which I normally just sail through, which I just couldn't complete. It was just too fiddly with the controls. So my advice would be, if you're playing this game, play it on the original Game Boy, or on an emulator that works a little bit more better. More better? So yes, it isn't a great experience on the emulator, I'll be honest with you, but I played this game so much on the original Game Boy. So for me, yeah, very much a 4.5 parrots out of 5. And yeah, that's it. There's not much more to say on it than that, other than just go get yourself back into it. It is a great fun game. The music is fantastic. It feels like proper Mario, but it's also nice and unique as well. It's got lots to love about it that's a little bit different from your typical Mario game. The second one, 6 Golden Coins, is probably a little bit more like Mario that you would recognise if you were playing it on the NES or the SNES. You might recognise more in the other one, and you can save in that one as well. So there's a lot that game brings. But to be honest with you, if I'm picking up the Game Boy, this is always the first one that I go to. This is the game that I love the most, despite there being a lot less in this game. You know, in the other one, you can still scroll left. You can't in this. You know, it's a bit like the original Mario Brothers. Once you've moved on, that's it. You can't go back. Graphically, the Super Mario Land 2 is much better. Like I said, you can save in it. There's loads of advantages to it. But for me, this is my favourite. I just love this one. I think it's the soundtrack. It gets stuck in your head. It's definitely something that I really enjoy. So there you go. That is Super Mario Land on the Game Boy, and that is it for this week's The Bit Between. So coming up in the channel on Friday, now that we've started with the Game Boy, we are going to be having a look at why the Game Boy was so successful. When you consider the Game Gear and the Atari Lynx had colour screens on them, you'd have thought that the Game Boy, with its monochrome screen and older hardware and technology, just wouldn't have been as good. You know, why would anyone want a monochrome device when you can have a full colour device in your pocket? And I say pocket with inverted commas because that's one of the reasons. But yeah, stick around for Friday. I'm going to talk about why the Game Boy was such a massive phenomenon, because it was huge. It's one of the best-selling consoles of all time, and yeah, there must be a reason for it, because yeah, its competitors on paper looked better. Yeah, stick around for Friday for my opinions on that. And also, some exciting news for the channel as well. I will be, after 2 years of not getting around to it, I will be launching my website very, very soon. So the website's just a companion to the YouTube channel, so always feel free to come back to YouTube and connect here. But it just gives you, I'm going to put some articles on there, mostly just based on the videos that I'm doing, and then maybe a few additional ones from time to time. You can link to the store from there. You can find all the videos on there as well. So it's just a bit of a placeholder for the channel. But yeah, so I'm super excited about that. And at some point I might do some more things with it. But I just wanted to get it up and running. So go check that out. Link in the description below. And I think that might be it for this week. So we'll carry on with the Bit Between next week with another Nintendo Game Boy game. And you'll have to stick around for next Wednesday to find out what that is. But yeah, just leaves me to say, if you enjoy these videos, please do hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for all your support on that. Hit the bell icon for any notifications. As you all know, I say it every time, but you all know this already, of course, you wonderful people. Yeah, that's it then. So yeah, I will see you in the next one. Thanks ever so much for watching. All take care of yourselves, and I will see you around. Bye for now. Bye-bye.